Hello there, my little goldies, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome to another video. We are going to be doing a WIP Wednesday today, and so I am going to be coloring out of Designer Desserts from Creative Haven, and we're going to work on this picture here. I started this one with my Arteza pencils, and I did a lot of this off camera, and I did some of this on camera when I filmed a Pencilmania episode. I don't know which one is actually going to be uploaded first. You may see the WIP Wednesday first, which is going to be this video, or you may see the, you'll probably see the WIP Wednesday first, and then you'll see the episode of the Pencilmania that I had recorded the other day. So in the Pencilmania, I reviewed the Arteza pencils, and I did a little bit of coloring here on camera. But we're going to go ahead and continue this picture with the Artezas, and we're going to just kind of color and gab a little bit today. And we're going to see how much of this bad boy that we can get done. I would say I am just about halfway there to completing it. So we're going to continue that today. And I have an interesting week to tell you about, so there's going to be a lot of chatting in this video. But I'm going to go ahead and do my regular disclaimer. I am coloring with the visual impairment, so I have to get pretty close to my work so I can see what I'm doing. So apologies for my big head getting in the way sometimes. I try to keep that to a minimum as much as I can, but a lot of times it just can't be helped. So apologies for that. I will do my best to deal with that, and I'm just moving my camera slightly just a little bit. If you open up the description box on the video, you'll see some links to Amazon if you want to purchase this book, Designer Desserts from Creative Haven, or the Artezas. I will link everything that I am using in the video to Amazon. I am an Amazon affiliate, so anytime you purchase anything through links that I provide on my channel, I get a tiny little commission back, and that just goes back in to help support the channel and to do giveaways and things like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and get on with it now that I've gotten that out of the way. Also, my tip jar is down there. If you so choose to do anything with that. It's totally not necessary, but I always include that in the videos. Also, I have an address down there if you want to personally share your colored pictures with me. Anything that you send to me will go into my nice little album, so I can do a little keepsake. I don't have a bulletin board or cork board or anything like that, so for now it just goes right into my album. If you know, for things that are sent to me and so forth. Okay, so let me go ahead and grab some pencils here. So I think last time we were doing the pink. I'm going to switch over to the blue. We're going to work on the bigger spaces on this little cake today. Okay, so I'm going to grab my blues, and we'll go ahead and do what we were doing in the Pencilmania video. So, hi Alex, silly boy, you can't color. No, you're not going to color today. So I'm just going to slightly flip the book a little bit so that I can get to the bigger spaces right there. And I think I'm just going to zoom in just a touch. Okay, so nothing major. And let me just move that so we can see. Okay, so I hope everyone is doing well today. So we're just going to continue on with these big spaces right here, and I'm just going to make sure that I'm in frame. Okay, so like I said, I hope everybody is doing well. I had, like I said, I've had an interesting week. Oh, and before I get into that, speaking of giveaways, like I was talking about being able to do giveaways, I still have the winners to announce on the, I had two giveaways open, and I have yet to announce winners on the one that contains Phantomorphia by Kirby Rosannas and Nightfall by Maria Trolle, as well as the Newborn Media giveaways that that I need to announce. And I'm really behind on things because I've had, like I said, I've had quite the interesting week, and it's not been all that great. Basically what happened was I pulled my back out of whack on Sunday night, and sometimes, like, I didn't really do anything different, you know, compared to what I normally do. Like, I was actually in bed Sunday night, and I got up to go to the bathroom, and I felt this sort of twinge, sort of like a pinching, sort of twisting sensation in my lower back and, you know, around my tailbone area, and I had done this a couple of years ago too, as I was folding laundry, you know, the same exact thing happened a couple of years ago, but I felt this like twinge, sort of twingy, pinching sensation, and I knew that, oh crap, and I knew that, oh crap, I was going to be in pain, and sure enough I was. It started to hurt really bad, and Monday morning I could barely get out of bed. Monday morning I could barely get out of bed, so I spent a lot of the day just pretty much like flat on my back, and I had planned to record some stuff Monday, but it just didn't quite go there. I could not, basically I could not sit for very long on my chair to be able to do much of anything. Okay, so Monday was, like I said, Monday most of the day was spent pretty much in bed, you know, flat on my back. And after I took my shower, it kind of started to feel a little bit better. Sometimes heat helps it, you know, it's only a temporary situation, but it helps it, and it helped it enough that I could sit in my computer chair and do a little bit of typing. I actually had to take care of my writing group, and there's another group that I co-own with a friend of mine from across the pond, and we had to start, we decided to transfer that group from Yahoo to Groups.io, which is another sort of group server, because Yahoo Groups has really been sucking. Alex, sit down. Sit. You don't need to be crawling around underneath that table there. Okay. So we decided to transfer from Yahoo to Groups.io just because Yahoo Groups has been just a real pain in the butt. Like, it will eat our messages. And it'll eat the messages, meaning that when we go to post the message, it just won't show up on the group. So we've had to do some serious thinking about that. And so I had to take care of that, you know, on the computer, as well as as well as catch up on the other writing group that I'm on, that I was mentioning that we have to post like at least once a week in order to stay, because, you know, she'll kick you off. So I did that. I didn't record any coloring because, you know, with me having to bend over a lot with, you know, on my chair to actually do this, I knew it would aggravate my back a little bit, so I didn't do any coloring that day. And then I spent maybe about an hour or so on the computer, and then that was about all I could stand to do, and then it was back to bed. And Tuesday really wasn't much better. In fact, it was a little bit worse, I think. I couldn't even get to my feet for a long time, you know, on Tuesday morning, and so I ended up in immediate care yesterday morning. Yeah, because today's Wednesday. I ended up in immediate care yesterday morning, and so it was a nurse practitioner I saw, and I knew her because I had seen her before. So she prescribed for me some, I got drugs. She prescribed for me some muscle relaxers and a pretty high dose of prednisone. We call it a 5-day burst. And that is supposed to kind of help things out. And she said I would probably feel relief in like 2 to 3 days. And it's a little better. It's a little better today. It's enough so that I am actually able to come and record for a little bit. I don't know how long this episode is going to be. I also need to do another Tim Jeffs one for the color along in April, so I'm going to try to do my best to record everything I need to record. But I don't know how well that's going to be. Just because I'm kind of, I don't want to call it a ticking time bomb, but it will end up starting to feel worse at some point. And I don't want to take my muscle relaxers until I don't have anything to do, because they make me go to sleep. They certainly did yesterday, let me tell you. I was on the phone with Stephanie yesterday, and I had taken my muscle relaxers, and it was a good thing she had to go when she did, because I think I would have fallen asleep on her. I was, as I was talking with her, I was going through my inboxes on my email. I have like several emails on my iPad and stuff and on my phone. So I was going through my inboxes and trying to delete a bunch of stuff, old stuff that I'd kept around, and it was time to just get rid of it. So I deleted a bunch of that stuff, and as I was doing that, like, I felt it just kind of kick in, and I knew that I was going to be going to sleep because, like, my my vision was kind of blurring out, and I just couldn't focus. So it's a good thing Stephanie signed off first, and that she did it when she did, because I would have fallen asleep on her, I think. Oh. So after I got done talking to Stephanie, I worked on the email a little bit more, or tried to, you know. It's like, all right, time for a nap. Time for a nap. So I did, and man, I conked out for probably like 3 or 4 hours from taking that stuff. And I guess it's a good thing though, because then I didn't think about how bad it was hurting, you know. And like I said, today is a little better. It's still pretty painful, but it is better. So it's just going to take some time, and I'm glad I went to the doctor, because, or immediate care or whatever. I'm glad I went, because I'm going to be out of town this weekend, and I didn't want to have my back just. I don't want to have my back just killing me the whole weekend. And I told John, I said, if this doesn't let up, I said, I'm not going to be able to go. So, yeah. So I said that I'm going to have to get this at least under control before I can even think about going. So, but I think it's taking a turn for the better. I had done this, like I said, a couple of years ago, and I toughed it out. I didn't go see anybody for it, and I should have, because let me tell you, like, it hurt like off and on for the next 6 months. Like, it would get better, and then it would just come back one day. It would just come back, and it was bad. And so I should have actually gone to see someone then. And when it started up again on Sunday night, it's like, well, I'm going to have to go see somebody, probably, because I can't go on like I did last time. I can't do it. So I did. I went to immediate care. And yeah, so I'm hoping in the next couple of days that it will be a marked difference. And changing positions is really tough. Like, you know, from going, like, from laying to sitting, and from sitting to standing, it can be tough. It's actually very tough. So I had to deal with that. So yesterday I pretty much spent all day in bed because the muscle relaxers made me conk out. And today, like I said, I'm not going to take it unless I really have to, because I don't want to conk out again, because I do need to get some stuff done. I'm going to try to pick my winners for the giveaways today. So between this video and I'll probably do like one big video for the giveaway. I don't know, or just separate it up. You know, because it was 2 different giveaways. So I will get that done, hopefully, today. So between this video, the Pencilmania video, and the giveaway winners, you're going to be seeing quite a bit on the channel. Plus, I do have another kind of smaller haul that I'm going to show you guys. I did get, now okay, you know, me being the pencil hoe that I am, I ended up getting a couple new sets of colored pencils to try out that I had seen, and I heard that were pretty good. They're budget friendly. I think I pretty much have like all of the artist grade ones that are spoken of, or that I know about. So I have a lot of budget friendly ones that I've been trying. And so you'll see those in the haul. Plus I did get a few more books. But that's going to be coming up maybe tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow, we'll see. We'll see when I can get that done and uploaded. I'll try to have something done and scheduled to upload for you guys over the weekend, because I know I'm not going to be able to film over the weekend. Because we are going to be occupied with Lions Club stuff. What else is new? So I'm going to try to have something done and scheduled to upload for you guys to watch over the weekend, if I get that ambitious and if my back holds up. I'll try to do that. I will try to do that. No guarantees, no promises though. Because I don't know. I just don't know how well things are going to hold up right now. And the rest of the week is going to be pretty busy because we have Lions Club tomorrow night. Thankfully it's not a board meeting though, so I'm hoping it's not going to be as long, because I know I'm not going to be able to sit for hours and hours and hours like I do at the board meetings. Not with my back feeling the way it feels right now. So on Sunday, this is before I hurt my back, on Sunday we went to our pen club, and we were actually pretty good. Like normally we will buy several pens and spend quite a bit of money there. But we were actually pretty good this time, and we just got one pen, or I just got one pen. It was a pen that I asked one of the guys to hold for me because I knew I wasn't going to be able to get it last month. With everything else that we got, I asked him to hold one for me, so he did, and I picked it up. I picked it up today, or Sunday, and that was the only pen that we got. And I think I figured, you know, we must have figured that, you know, with the pen show coming up in May, you know, the big Chicago Pen Show, which is like the big event of the year for us. We decided really not to get anything because we know that we're going to end up doing a lot of shopping at the show. And if we shop here and now, we're not going to be able to do as much at the show. So we kind of had like this unwritten thing that we weren't going to do much at the club this time out. So that was that, and then we stopped and got something to eat at McDonald's on the way, like we always do. We always make a McDonald's stop on the way home because I always told John after all that I am not cooking. So we did our McDonald's run. Yeah, not the healthiest or anything, but we don't do it too often. I think the last time we actually went to McDonald's was the month before when we were done at the pen club. Well, I take that back. No, I think we actually went. Oh, you know, when I had my rehearsal for that extra concert with our choral group, I think it was Monday night, we actually went to McDonald's and got something to eat on the way to my rehearsal. Because I knew I wasn't going to cook that night, you know, because our rehearsal doesn't even get done until like 9 o'clock. And, you know, I'm not cooking at that hour of the night. So yeah, that was that. And let's see. Then I ended up hurting my back Sunday night, like I said. So then Monday, you know, not much happened. I just pretty much spent like all day in bed, flat on my back. Tuesday went to immediate care. Spent pretty much the rest of the day in bed. Oh gosh. And today is like the first day I've been able to kind of get like up and at 'em. So tomorrow we have Lions Club, and then Friday and Saturday we have our a convention to go to. and we'll be back like Saturday night. So we're taking the dogs in Friday for boarding. Alex gets to come with us, but Caleb and Sheena have to be boarded. Normally Annie would watch them. She's always done that in the past, but she's having some issues right now, which I'm not going to get into. And she's kind of proven that we can't really trust her alone with the dogs at this stage, because she forgets certain things, whether it's on purpose or whatever. But so we felt that, you know, we feel for until she can get it together. They'd just be better off being boarded, I think. So that's what we're gonna do. And then we'll pick them up next Monday, because, I mean, we'll be home Saturday night, but where we board them, it's the vet's office, you know, the vet's clinic. And so they won't open back up until Monday, so we'll get them on Monday. Tonight I need to go and have a fill-in for my nails. They've kind of grown out quite a bit. Let me show you there. Kind of grown out quite a bit, so I totally need a fill-in for my nails. So I am hoping to do that tonight, because I'm not going to have time tomorrow night or Friday, and I want to do it before the convention. You know, have nice new nails for the convention. We'll be back on Saturday. Sunday, shouldn't have too much to do. Monday we pick up the dogs. So we'll see what happens next week, and hopefully my back will be pretty much back to normal by then. I sure hope so. I surely hope so. Because I'll tell you what, like when you pull your back out, like it can be so hard to function. And it's pretty bad. I think it was like Monday morning. Monday morning I actually had to crawl to the bathroom because I couldn't stand my feet. Tuesday wasn't any better. But I managed to get to my feet. Like I got up, like out of bed, and of course everything was all hurting real bad in the morning. And I had to kind of sit for a little bit, and then I was able to get to my feet and stay on my feet, because I'd get to my feet and then it would just be so painful that I couldn't stand up. So finally I got to my feet, and I did my thing. But yeah, Monday morning I actually had to crawl to the bathroom because it was bad. It was bad stuff. But next week should be a pretty light week. Once the convention is over with. I am always so glad when the convention is over with. Although this year it's going to be a little different. It's not going to last as long. So yeah. I did get some requests to sing during the Tim Jeff's Color Along, some jungle songs. So let's see. Somebody wants me to sing Bungle in the Jungle. And then somebody wants me to sing Africa by Toto. And then Stephanie wants me to sing Let It Go from Frozen. I'm not going to do that in this video though. I think that'll happen more in the animals. Yep. And I think for my next animal one from Tim Jeff's, I think I'm going to color something out of one of his sketchbooks. I think I'm going to try to do the koala. Yep. because there's koalas in his sketchbooks. And then I have a little koala story that I'm going to tell as I color that. I actually had a very up close and personal account with a koala. And I'm just going to leave it at that. You will have to wait to hear the story when I get to that picture to start coloring it. You will just have to wait to hear that. I'm just doing a couple of the layers of these pinks and blues and just kind of shading with the lighter ones as I go. Try to get so you can actually see what I'm putting down. That would actually be kind of nice, wouldn't it? So, other than that, my back kind of put a monkey wrench in a lot of my plans. I did manage to watch a couple of videos though while I was down. So I did manage to do that. Okay. I think I'm gonna, while I got the blues, I think I'm gonna do this little bar here, and then I'll go back in with the pink and color that other one. Okay. So again, I'm just gonna kind of layer this with the darker color, or put the darker color down and then I'll layer it. And we'll add some shading in with the lighter color. If you hear that noise in the video, that's my dryer. I have clothes in the dryer. Our washer and dryer is actually pretty quiet, but sometimes you'll still hear it. Oh my gosh, the one that we used to have, it was so noisy. But then, you know, that thing lasted like a good, say, 30 plus years. Because John actually had that before he and I got married. He actually had that washer and dryer. And the washer broke down first. Like it just, I think it just up and quit one day, if memory serves me correctly. So we ended up getting another washer. And that one lasted maybe 5 years. It was a front-loading one. And the barrel just up and broke one day. You know, like where the clothes go. The barrel just up and broke one day. And so we had to get another washer, and we were told that, I guess with the kind of water that we have here, that it would just do that. Okay, we're back. Oh, I tell you, every time I get involved in something, the phone rings. This was a pretty important phone call though, because we were setting up doctor's appointments and stuff. So. I did have to do that. So thank goodness it wasn't a telemarketer, because I get so ticked off at telemarketers. I truly do. So I was talking about upcoming things, and that next week ought to be pretty light, thank goodness. Because we had some things that have happened over the last couple of weeks that we didn't foresee happening. Just, you know, between meetings and just things that we've had to take care of, you know, sometimes these things creep up on you. Like I had to attend a phone meeting last week. And the gal, I guess, forgot to, like it was scheduled, and then I guess reminders never got sent out until like the last minute, so it's like, oh crap. And it was actually the day that I had my extra concert with the choral group, so I wasn't able to attend in person. So we had like there's some people that would call in, and then we've also got like a go-to-meeting setup thing, you know, that we can do. So I had to attend by the go-to-meeting thing because I wasn't able to go in person, because the place that we would have the meeting, it's like an hour and a half to drive up there and another hour and a half to get home. If I would have gone, I mean, I would have gotten, you know, reimbursed like mileage and stuff, but
I just couldn't because I had the concert. And I wouldn't have been able to get back home in time to go to that. So I had to attend by the go to meeting thing, which was okay. It was just that there was one time where Sheena started in with her barking and stuff and wanting to be a little brat, because she can be a little brat sometimes. And so I had to tell Annie, you need to do something with her because I'm in this meeting and I can't hear when she is acting like that. So that was Wednesday. Then that night we had our performance. And actually it was pretty nice. We did okay, you know. We did okay for kind of just throwing it together. But we actually got dinner this time. You know, they actually let us have dinner, whereas in other places that we do, you know, they don't pay us to eat. But you know, they gave us dinner. And it was fried chicken, lasagna, some kind of pasta. I think it was lasagna. There was like salad and stuff, mixed vegetables, and these little butter cookies for dessert, and jello. And it was good. It was really good. I have to say it was quite tasty. Quite tasty. So we had dinner, and we had dinner while we, you know, when we performed, or before we performed, and that was nice. No, that was nice. Okay, so I'm going to take the blues again. I'm going to take these color blues and I'm going to run them around some of these little stripes right here. I think I'm going to do the bottoms and the top stripes in the blue. And then I will shade where it needs to be shaded. So yeah, I think I'm going to take the blue and do the top and stuff right here. So let me make sure that I'm in frame, kind of. Okay, let me just move this a little bit. Okay, hopefully that will do the trick. So that was last week. And then, like I said, this week here has been kind of interesting with me throwing my back out. That really sucks. That really sucks. So we'll see what I can do here with this picture with you guys while we are here. Okay, and then I'm going to take this part, this lighter color, and we're going to go over this here with it. So I may make this part look a little softer, depending on kind of what I want to achieve, I think. I'm not sure. Sometimes we just kind of play this by ear or by eye as we go. Okay. And I'm going to take the darker one again. Make another pass over this part. So that's what's been going on here. But I hope everybody is doing well. How is everybody doing? I haven't had a chance to really play my Sims very much either because with doing the color along and with being kind of busy with Lions Club stuff and all that, I haven't played my Sims too much. And of course, I can only sit in my computer chair for a limited amount of time now with my back the way it is at this point. So I kind of have to be careful a little bit with it until it heals up all the way. But it's crazy just how one little move can really hurt you. It really is. It's crazy how that can happen. And last time when I did this, I think I was just folding laundry and I went to pick up some stuff and I felt that same sensation and ooh, yep. it was hurting. It was hurting pretty bad. Pretty bad. And like I said, when your back goes out, boy, it can be really hard to function, because when you can't move very well, it's just kind of a bad situation. Okay, now I'm going to take the darker color again, and I'm going to come over here. We're going to have it kind of meet in the middle, I think. So, make sure I get on the right layer. So I don't think I'm going to be able to get this whole picture done in this video, but we're going to get a lot of it done. We're going to get done with as much as we can. Some of you requested a little bit longer Color Gabs, so I'll try to do that from time to time. Normally I try to keep them like under an hour or right at an hour. I know some of them have gotten a little bit longer. So, I don't know, my videos lately have been just taking such a long time to upload. Like, I think the latest Tim Jeff's color along I did was only like 50 some minutes, but it took like 4 hours to upload. It took like 4 hours to upload, and I mean, that's ridiculous. How can a 50-minute long video take like 4 hours to upload? So I don't know if it was my internet speed that was going down, or what was up. But I wasn't happy about that. So we'll see how long this one takes to do. We will see. And I'm just going to kind of have this meet in the middle. Okay. I've got my lighter blue, and I'm going to go in with it. So really not too much else to say, even though it seems like a lot's been kind of going on with my week. You know, a lot of it was spent like flat on my back. So, which doesn't make me happy, because like I have things to do. I don't have time to like have to lay around 24 hours a day, you know. I mean, it wasn't that bad, but you know, I did get up to, you know, go to immediate care and stuff. And oh, and then what happened? Was it Monday night? I think it was. We had to go to the Apple store because John needed a new battery for his phone. So we'd gotten that set up so that he could get his battery changed out. And while we were there, well, I had done some diagnostics on my phone, and my phone said it also needed a new battery. Now he is on the 6. The iPhone 6. I am on the 6 Plus, which is the one with the bigger screen. So the phones that we have are quite old anyway, and they're like, I don't know, 4 years old. Because we're like, as it is right now, we're like 2 generations behind, I think. You know, which is okay. The phones work perfectly fine. It's just the batteries needed replacing on his and on mine. So while we were there, we asked them about a battery for my phone, and they actually had one. So both phones were actually able to be changed out as far as batteries go. You know, we did manage to get batteries for both phones, which is good because the Apple store is a bit of a hike for us. And we try to do everything in one trip if we can. Just because it takes us a while to get there and stuff. And I had the heat from the shower kind of helped the back a little bit. It was enough that I could. That I could go. Couldn't stand up for very long, so I did a lot of sitting. But even that, you know, hurt because like sitting on like where, you know, because mine hurts like where the tailbone area is. And so trying to sit on that for any length of time was really hurting bad. So that was hurting. I had done all I could do that night. But I did want to go because I knew that I needed this new battery. So, yep, that's what I did. But I think I paid for it Tuesday morning because, like I said, Tuesday was bad. And that's when I ended up in immediate care. I normally try to tough stuff out like that, but considering how it acted the last time, like, I just couldn't go on like that. I just couldn't. So I had to do something this time out, especially with our weekend coming up. You know, I can't afford to be in that much pain and try to go to that. It's either try to get it under control and be able to go, or I'd have to stay home. Because I can't sit for very long in those chairs. Can't do it. Okay. So I'm going to come over here and do the other side with the blue, with the darker blue. Let's see if I'm in frame. Yeah, I guess so. So that's been my life. But it's getting better. It's getting better, so that's the important thing. Thank goodness. Because I always feel bad, like when I can't get a video out when I'd like to get a video out. I always feel bad about that. Okay, so I'm just kind of straight coloring with the darker blue, just kind of up to this line right here, and then we're going to shade kind of in the middle, like we've been doing. So this part will be okay. And then I'll bring the darker blue just kind of toward the middle like this. I may have to sharpen my pencils. This is kind of a tight little space right here, so pardon me. I'm sure my big old head was in the way. So just do it like that, and then I'm going to continue with my lighter blue, and we'll blend it into the dark. Might have to make some more layers, which normally I do anyway. So, what's everybody been reading? Have you guys been reading anything special? I started, it's a series by Nora Roberts. As you guys know, she's one of my favorites, and I hadn't read this series yet, but it's the Guardian series where it's a trilogy, and each book features like one man and one woman. Usually it's a woman, and then, you know, she gets together with one of the men, you know, in the book. So this is the Guardian series, and it's about where these three couples have to find these stars that a goddess hid or something, you know, that these goddesses placed, and they have to find these stars, I guess, to kind of keep the world running or something like that. So I got started on the first book. I'm not very far into it. Not very far into it yet, but it looks really good. And my friend Ian, you know, he likes them too. And I actually got him into the Key trilogy by Nora Roberts. And so anyway, Ian told me, you know, about this series, and he's like, you got to read this one. So I am reading this one. And I got another series too that I need to read, and it's by Catherine Anderson. It's her new one, Mystic Creek or something like that series. Because she did, her series was, like she did the Harrigan family and the Coulter family and the Kendrick family. And so now she's got this new series called Mystic Creek, I think it is. And so I got the first 2 books in that, which I will tackle when I'm done with the Nora Roberts series. Yep. That's what I got going at the moment. So I was kind of in like a bit of a reading funk, because it's like I had so much stuff on my list that I needed to read, but it's like I wasn't in the mood, you know what I mean? I just was not in the mood, and so I've been listening to a lot of my old-time radio shows, and I've been listening to a series called Lights Out, which is a thriller, kind of a scary series. I mean, it's very tame compared to, you know, modern day standards. Like, it's really tame compared to stuff from today. But there's still some very kind of creepy, scary stuff in there. So yeah. All right, so I'm gonna take my pinks and I'm gonna go over to this layer here, and we're just gonna do the same thing that we did with the blue. All right, we are back. So I had to kind of stop here for just a second, but just to kind of eye our picture. But I think what we're gonna do for this video is I'm gonna finish up the stripes with the pink, and then I'm gonna go down over here with pinks and blues to kind of fill in all of this like I did up here. And then I think that will pretty much be the first half of our cake done. And then I'll probably try to finish it off camera, or maybe I'll come back and do this in another video with you guys. But we're getting there, like we're getting there. But I'm gonna fill in this stripe, and then we're gonna fill in with pinks and blues down here, and then that will probably be the end of our video for today, as far as this goes. So I'm just gonna make sure that I am in frame, which I am. That's great. Okay. So I kind of got out of my reading funk, and I'm reading those. Start with the Nora Roberts first, and then I'll go into the Catherine Anderson ones when I'm done with her. Catherine Anderson writes romances, and some of what's kind of cool with hers is some of her characters actually have like a physical disability. Like in the Coulter series, there's a lady that had something wrong with her corneas, and so she has to have like cornea transplants every so often. And then once, like when the corneas kind of start to wear out, then she ends up going blind. But when the corneas are transplanted, you know, she's got very good vision. Well, she got pregnant. I don't want to tell you the whole book, but basically she got pregnant, which meant that it was she couldn't take the meds, you know, to keep her corneas good. So she was going blind, slowly going blind again, and she wasn't gonna be able to get another transplant until her baby was born. And so it talked about like all the challenges and stuff that she would have to live with, like, you know, when living on a ranch, like with her husband and stuff. And so she had a pretty close, I don't want to, like I said, I don't want to give away the whole book, but she had a pretty close shave, and it shook her up, and so they had to make some changes in their lives, you know, for it to work. And then there was another gal that in the Coulter series, she was paralyzed from the waist down from a barrel racing accident that she had on her horse. So it was about her life and as a paraplegic, and meeting the man of her dreams and making their life work and stuff, you know. So yep. Now I gotta take this blue. I'm gonna pull it around that line right there a little bit. Okay. And then she also has, this is Catherine Anderson now, but she also has some where it's kind of a fantasy kind of deal, because in the last book, I think in the Harrigan series, it's about a woman who came from like the 13th century through a time portal, like she traveled in time, to break a curse that, you know, that her ancient ancestor had done. And she had to break this curse because it was killing like all the wives of the men. So she had to come forward in time to marry the last Harrigan brother standing, and you know, to break this curse. And so that book was really cute. I mean, it was a nice book. I love that book, and I loved the character of Kiera. You know, trying to fit into modern day society, you know, from the 13th century. You know, she was a 13th century druid, which meant that she had, you know, in the books, you know, she had like some magical powers, but they weakened, you know, during the time traveling. So when she used her powers, it weakened her a little bit, and one time it weakened her so much that, you know, she was really, really sick and was dying because it just drained her too much. So they had to figure out a way to save her, you know, after she came through and married, you know, married Quincy Harrigan and broke the curse and stuff. And this one was more of like an arranged marriage, you know, because in order to save the life of the oldest brother, you know, because she was dying from leukemia. And if they didn't get married, then she would have died. But, you know, because Kiera came forward to break the curse, the other woman was saved. Her life was saved. So this book is kind of about like her life and trying to fit in and to be a modern day wife and stuff, you know. But that is a really good book. And then she's also got one called Only by Your Touch, which features a Shoshone Indian veterinarian who was kind of drummed out of society, I guess, through some traumas and stuff that he had. And he has this magical gift of being able to heal with his touch in certain circumstances. And so he felt that it was a curse because of some things that have happened. So that book was about like him falling in love with this woman and her, you know, kind of helping him get over the trauma of what he sustained. So that's a good book. So there's times where Katherine Anderson actually adds a little bit of fantasy in her books. Or a bit of the supernatural, I should say, because like there's no dragons or elves or anything like that. You get like one book she wrote where the woman was a seer, meaning, you know, she was clairvoyant, and so she could tell what was going to happen like in the future and could see some stuff in the past. So she was clairvoyant that way. I'm just going to come in here with the pinks. Actually, I should do this with the darker one, I think, right now. So even though, you know, she will write like ordinary, you know, about ordinary people, sometimes you will see a hint of the supernatural in some of her books. So if you like romances, Katherine Anderson is a really good author for that. And she writes, most of her characters like live on ranches, like, you know, from the West. Like most of her stories take place in Oregon on different ranches and stuff. So I would certainly highly, highly recommend those books, if you're into stuff like that. So, and I got out of the lines just a little bit. And it's kind of funny because, like, sometimes the characters won't like each other very much at the beginning. And then, of course, by the end of the book, you know, they're madly in love. Yeah, very wildly in love. So, I like stories like that, you know, where they don't get along very well at first, and then, you know, and then they patch it up, and all goes well. Well, all ends well, I should say. They do have their little drama, and always in her books, like, there's always a time where usually it's the woman, you know, who feels it's not going to work out, and so she ends up leaving or tries to break it off, and then the guy goes after her and brings her back and all that stuff, you know. So there is like an element of, you know, they know they want to be together, but something happens where one of the characters feels it's not going to work. and then the other one has to bring him back or talk some sense into him, you know, that kind of thing too. In Quincy and Kiara's case, like I said, because she used her gifts, and she ended up like really sick in the hospital and was almost gonna die. So, you know, he thought he was gonna lose her at that point. But I think a lot of romances are that way. Like, you know, they get them together, and then there's an instance where they almost like break up, but you know they're not going to break up. You know, you know that it's going to end well. And I like stories with happy endings. You know, I don't like stories where it ends and there's still so much to be resolved. Like, I just don't like that. Like, I want a nice kind of clear-cut, clean ending. You know, I mean, it's kind of good to use the imagination and so forth, but I still like a nice, good, clear-cut ending, and hopefully a happy one at that point. There's some people that like these dark romances where there's something terribly wrong, like with one or both of the characters, and it doesn't always, it usually doesn't end well. I don't care for books like that, honestly. I don't care for stories like that, to be honest. Because, like, if you're gonna have them, like, you know, if you're gonna have them like being together, you know, then like you have this whole story going on, and then like in the middle of it, you kind of know it's never gonna happen. So I kind of feel like, you know, why agonize yourself when you know it's not going to end well? You know it's not going to end well, so why keep reading it? I mean, some people like it. Some people like it, and to each their own, but it's not my thing. Not my thing, but, you know, different strokes for different folks, as they say. That's kind of one of my favorite sayings. Different strokes for different folks. I'm just coloring in the circles with the darker blue on here. These Arteza pencils are really soft. They're not like a Prismacolor. They're not as soft as a Prismacolor, but they are some pretty soft pencils, I gotta say. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to go ahead and take the lighter pink, and I'm just going to kind of go over the whole thing with it here, just to kind of get rid of some of the white spots I'm seeing. Okay. So, that is what I've been reading. I haven't really been doing much coloring, like I said. It's really hard for me to bend over with my back right now. I mean, this is all I can do to, you know, to record this with you guys, but I did want to get something out for you guys, because it's been a few days. So we'll just see what we can do with this. I'm going to come over here and do the same thing with this pink, or with these two pinks. Make sure that it's in frame. Oops, move my chair just a little bit. So, what's everybody been up to? I hope you guys are having a good week. I hope the weather is starting to shape up where you guys are, because I'll tell you what, like where I'm at, like it just doesn't know how to make up its mind. Like, we had a couple of really, really, really nice days, and but then it got cold again, and it started to feel like winter. So I mean, that totally sucked. And today is still kind of cold. It's like in the 40s. But like when we went to the Apple store Monday night, like it said 39, but man, it felt like 17 or 15, you know. It felt like just almost stinking 0. It was cold. So yeah, it just doesn't know how to make up its mind yet. Oh, to live in the Midwest. I hate the Midwest. Absolutely just hate it here. Absolutely just cannot stand it with a passion. At the Apple store, there was a worker there, and he was talking about how he used to live in Arizona, you know? And I said, well, what the hell are you doing here? He's like, well, I don't know. He says, I took a drink of something and woke up, and I woke up here. It's like, well, yeah. So, yep, you were dragged here forcefully. You had to be put out to come here. But yeah, of course, you know, each location does have its drawbacks and its good parts. Because he said Arizona was always really hot, which I guess it is. I guess it's more of a dry heat, whereas here we have a lot of humidity here. But he said it's really hot. Like it can get, you know, there's days where it's like 115 or 120, and I've seen weather reports about that. You know, very high temperatures. But it's like a desert, so you know when it kind of starts to get by the end of summer, it's still real hot during the day, but then it cools off a lot at night. It's actually cold at night. So you get more extreme temperature changes there, I think. Because like when it's summer here, like if you're going to have a warm day, unless the weather pattern changes, but like if you have just kind of a warm day here, it usually stays warm at night too. Not only is it hot during the day, I mean it will cool off at night obviously, but it's still very warm and muggy and stuff. But yeah, I hate it here. I know I have said that in the past, but I hate it here. I absolutely hate it here. And I've lived here all my life, but I still hate it.
Still hate it. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay, so back with the darker blue, and we're gonna fill in the circles like we did on the other side. So, not too much else to say. Okay. Fill in these next couple little circles. Sorry for my big head being in the way. With these little circles, it's really tight, so it makes it a little hard to see. Now I'm going to take the lighter pink and I'm just going to run it over everything just to kind of clear up those white spots that I'm seeing just a little bit. Just real lightly, just to get rid of the white spots.
Okay, so there's that. Now I'm going to go ahead and take my blue, my two blues. So really we've been just using 4 colors in this picture, at least on camera. Like up here in this area are some slightly different colors there. And then probably up here I'll do some different colors there. Or maybe just some varying shades of what we've already got. So I'm gonna go ahead and take the darker blue and I'm gonna fill this in down here. So I think that's all we have time to do today, but we did get quite a bit of this done. We finished up our stripes, and then we did some more stuff down here. So I will lift this camera up just a little bit. Let me go ahead and zoom back out where we were. Just zoom back out here. So let me just lift up this camera and I will show you what we've got. So here is the bottom part of the picture, and then here is what we got so far on the second half. That's all we got time for today, and I will try to finish this off camera, or I may come back and do some more with you guys. It just depends on what I decide to do. I don't know yet. But anyway, here is what we have with the Arteza pencils, and these pencils work really great on this Creative Haven paper. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like if you did. And that really, really helps out my channel. The more likes I get, the higher it's rated on YouTube and the more it gets out there. And also leave a comment and tell me what you think. Hit that subscribe button, but while you are at it, go ahead and tap on that bell so you can be notified when I upload new videos. And by subscribing to my channel, you become a Goldie, and that's just what I call my subscribers, is my little Goldies. And I am Alpha Goldie, and it's just all in good fun, and you know, because I love, love, love golden retrievers. So yeah. Anyway, that's enough chit chat, and go ahead and again, don't forget to comment and like and subscribe, and we will see you guys in the next video. Okay, bye my little Goldies.